What episode is this?
This is episode 8.
8, okay. Oh, ladies and gentlemen.
No, episode 7.
7? You want to start this off because I don't know what to say. I mean, we got to make a correction.
This is the F&G show.
The F&G show, right.
And we're reviewing episode by episode the TV show
Them.
We're on episode 7, 8, 7?
7, 8, and whatever.
And we're on the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, Frank think we had to make a correction, but the thing is, we only know what we know when we see what we see.
Well, it won't be a correction. It will be an update.
There you go, an update.
An update.
So, in this update, what we have perceived as being, what we say as their ghosts, you know, ghosts.
Ghosts, crazy as a Betsy bug, all of that stuff we've been saying in the previous versions of these previous episodes, we were all wrong. They were actually not ghosts. It was their conscience talking to them about the trauma of dealing with white people in the 1950s and 1950s in Compton. And so what we thought was going on was crazy. Now, in reality, there were some people who did lose their minds.
Right.
But then these two people that we're dealing with as the main characters of the show, the husband, the wife, the children, and the white people in this neighborhood, oh gosh, I mean, it's like, I don't know how we figured it out. I kind of just said it off the top of my head. It's not ghosts. This is their conscience. The daughter was dealing with wanting to be white. The mother dealing with, we did not pick this up at all. Remember? The wife was going to this friend's house for 3 or 4 episodes.
Well, they led us to believe that it was her husband's family. When they had a big party when she first
they went to the party,
So let's believe that it was her husband, you know.
Right.
And it could have been, but I know this last one, when we was thinking it was the same lady, his cousin ended up being her conscience that was digging in her, telling her crazy things. Mm-hmm. And then this man kind of like popped up because it wasn't, she said Miss Vera, or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Miss Vera. But, the one that killed the baby?
Yeah, but
killed
this
the baby
was
boy.
A man in a black hat. The same one that was standing outside when she was saying cat in the bag. And she said, I saw a man in a black hat. And she tried to chop a baby girl and missed.
Yeah. Kind of like Lizzie Borden.
Took an axe, gave her mother 40 whacks.
40 whacks. She tried
when she realized what she done, she gave her father 41.
You got it right. I was trying to remember that.
Yes.
So she was this longtime friend of her husband's family. I thought she was a real lady. She was visiting the whole show, y'all. But it was her conscience the whole time. And she says, well, what was going on here was rather than letting the white people destroy your family and kill you, you kill your own family so they can send them to heaven real quick so they won't get the opportunity to do it.
That's right. Sacrifice
them so that white people don't have the joy of killing you. But you know what? And immediately when she said that, she didn't say it in those words in the script, but I understood what she was saying. It was kind of like Black Panther. He said, I would rather jump overboard, my ancestors that died overboard, and jump overboard and die at sea rather than be enslaved in America. So it's kind of like, well, we all know many of these people who were captured in Africa and came over on ships. There was a bunch of them that just said, we're not going to be able to do this, and they just went on here.
We talking about them, and he always want to take it back to slavery.
Well, it's kind of like the connection is so clear to me, because the conscience was telling them, don't let these white people kill your children.
In the 50s, not slavery time.
But
you got to deal in the present, man.
Well, I see the connection. Well, if you watch the show, you'll be able to tell me if you see the connections. Well, I don't know.
This show ended with them, the wife slapped the white woman. She said, I got to get up out of here.
Yes.
And then the oldest daughter she was talking to her conscience was a white girl, and she ended up putting all this white paint on her.
She put herself white paint
and went out to the bonfire in front of the whole school and started doing the cheerleading dance.
Yeah, she wanted to be a cheerleader.
I think she's just embarrassed. And then the younger girl, this time the young girl didn't really do anything. She was just in for it. But the husband ended up smacking this white guy
in the back of the head, who asked him about the neighborhood because he was gonna go kill the guy, his boss.
Yeah, and
but he wasn't at home.
Absolutely. And so he just took, used the bathroom, drank a little bit of his liquor, and walked out the door. Left his wife in there. And so his conscience messed with him in the restaurant.
Right, with the man with the clown with the black face.
So then when he left, the cops was out there talking about him, but then two of them drove away, and then he left, and then he ended up following the other cop.
Right.
So the cop looked in the rearview side view mirror and saw that, hey, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be looking for this guy. So he told him to go ahead of him. He pulled in the front, then he's like, yeah, he got out, and he's asking them about the neighbor's wife, because she had disappeared, which we forgot to say.
Yeah, because she went, the wife, after she got slapped, the woman that's her husband is running around on spending up all the money, at the whorehouse, I guess he's where he was. Those what we called it in my days. I don't know what they called it in his days. So I lost my thought. So
went out to the milkman farm.
Went out to the milkman's farm. She wanted to have him kill them. They came back to the house and got all riled up, said, we're going to kill these black people. And then the daddy went back in the house, right? They were trying to... Well, I lost my thought. I was going to say about the other thing first, right?
They was at the farm.
Yeah.
And she was drinking the whiskey. He gave her some of the whiskey because she called them. See, what happened was she called the guy and said, look, I need to call in that favor. And he was like, come on out. So she went out to the farm. What he did was he put a little extra stuff in.
He put a little Mickey in the drink.
Yeah, in a little flask. So he was like, here, just a dab of do ya.
We know what his intentions were.
So she drank it. And he sat it down. He went to talk. He came back out. And she was like, knocked out, woke up. Oh, what's going on? She was real sluggish. He was like, what's going on? He looked. He's like, oh, man, you drank too much. He said, I didn't know how much to put in here because of your weight. Yeah. Which told us that he put a Mickey in her drink.
Yeah, a Mickey in her drink,
so
right.
She was like, I want to be there when you kill him and all that stuff. And that's pretty much where their thing ended.
Where that ended, yeah.
But then it went to the husband, and the husband started fighting with the guy. Say, hey, man, leave the dude alone. Because it's like, man, the house is messed up. So anyways, the one of the white guys pull a gun out. The black dude's like, yeah, he trying to make a run for it. Right. The family got in the car. The guy came out. When he came out, he saw this case that had his son's initials on it. So he opened the case, and Lord,
his wife had dug the baby up out of the grave and put it put the bones, put the body in the little case, kept it in the house, because she said she couldn't leave without him when they left the place where they was. But we skipped the part. Skipped the part when he was following the policeman, the black guy, the husband, following the policeman because he wanted to know how this woman, the white woman that was harassing them, the main white woman that was harassing this family, how the house got tore up. She tore the house up because she found out her husband was cheating. Well, we don't know that.
She tore it up because she got slapped in the face and was pissed off.
Right. And then she found out that her husband spent all the money in the bank.
But that was the other day.
That was the other day. Okay, well, I got to make all mixed up now. So the black guy was following the policeman that was being paid off by the real estate agent, right? Yeah. Not to mess with them. So he went to the house and said, you know them black people across the street tore up my house and my wife is gone and her pocketbook's gone. And he said, well, the policeman said, well, you know, I know your wife and you know what? She went out of this house under her own power. So he left and the black man was following him. And so we thought it was just going to be I thought it was going to be a regular police stop. He stopped him, got up here. He says, well, can you tell me what happened in that house? He said, man, I can't tell you what happened in the house because if I say things begin to happen. Bad things happen. He said, you could tell me. You could tell me. And he wouldn't tell him. So He said, well, maybe I'll talk to your wife. I'll get the information out of her. He pulled out the gun and shot him 2 times in the chest. Then he pulled out the last time and shot the policeman in the head. Because what happened was the trauma in his head was so bad that he thought the policeman was going to rape his wife again like the other man did when he killed his son. So he shot the policeman. I said, I was in here and I said, oh, crap. Woo, wow. Now they all trying to run. And then what's going on at the point?
Well, after he shot the cop, he went back to the house, and then that's when he found
the baby, right?
The guy across the street, friend, came out with the gun and was saying, "You trying to run?" And he pulled the gun out. And that's when the guy was trying to load up the car. He had the kids and his wife in the car. He saw the suitcase. That's when he pulled it out and saw that the bones was inside.
Right.
And how this episode ended, he came out and he was holding the bones of his son. And he was like, "I can't believe you did this." And she's like, I couldn't leave him. And then that's where all that. So that's kind of how that one ended. So
did we miss something in this? There was something else in this episode.
No, that was it. That was it right there, man.
I thought it was something else.
We jumped back and forth, but if you want to be in order, you watch it yourself.
Yeah, you gotta be. If you want to see, watch it yourself. But to be honest, I was tricked. I was tricked by the previous episodes. I thought they were all crazy, but it was really dealing with their conscience. I didn't even think about the conscience from episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And now we're moving on to the last 2 or 3 episodes. So we'll see you next time.
Yes.
We got to get to it now.
Yes.
This is the F&G show. And we are out.
We are out, but you watch the show. You're going to get a lot out of it.